Good afternoon, everyone. Kitty Foss here, your storytelling astrologist, reader of the stars. I will cover a little bit of the 8th, the 9th, and the 10th of March. March forward, March forward. Well, daylight savings time on Sunday for a lot of people always kind of throws off the not only the children's clocks, but has us kind of scrambling, looking at time. Where are we moving forward? What is happening? And do we really save time? And how do you look at timelines? So that moon that was in Scorpio was working in the background with our Jupiter energy, our Mercury energy, and the sun. So we moved forward with nurturing communication, experiencing communication, and there was a conjunction with our Venus energy. Venus about relationships, balance, harmony. It's in Aries, so it's very passionate about all of those things. Working with that Saturn energy that is asking us to create and take responsibility for what we create, the potential of our structures. And on the 9th, that Mercury energy is still at play, a slightly more about the experience that it was working with that Scorpion moon. And then as it's working in the background at that point with nurturing our understanding, our learning, that Jupiter bridge energy, bringing that forward for us to experience what true nurturing in transformation looks like, because that is where the moon is. Then, as that moon shifts into a void, of course, which is always about your own personal energy, and then on to the moon of truce, that Sagittarius fire energy, steady moving truce, we again have a trine. Trines are all about things working in the background. We have our Mercury, our Saturn, which are working together with that responsibility in our spirituality, in how we move forward, and who and how we deal with things and the structures that we create to support our very essence. Also, there is an opposition with that moon that when it is in void, of course, so your own moon, looking for a midpoint with this chaos and this awakening. How do I take the responsibility, step into that, and still nurture what I cherish and put them all together? So the 9th is really that cosmic number of getting ready for the very next step. We're able to do a lot of this by activating our own small changes and taking the time to tune into the visionary energy of what these changes are becoming. How do you show up? How do you respond? How this really is about being very careful with your words, your deeds, your action, but not to the point of micromanaging yourself, but learning to, and let me say and, not but, it's not micromanage yourself, it's an and learning to sit with yourself. And there is a requirement in the truth about with that Sagittarius moon in our placement of Mars in Pisces, which remember is a detriment. So think of it as the water that moves forward in a wave, and it wants to move forward, but it comes back. And there's that in between kind of stirring of the water, like if you push and it creates a disruption. That's what Mars and Pisces is about. And there's some discernment that will be needed on the 9th. Where do I put my will? How do I step into this? The silence, just sit with it and see what comes to you. There's so much about this part of marching forward is to step forward and the clarity of the path unwinds. And then on the 10th, we have our Jupiter energy. So Jupiter on the 9th is working at the 29th degree, the anaretic degree of understanding all of that Scorpion moon energy. And then it goes direct on the 10th of March, which means all of this time that we've been kind of nurturing who we are, learning about that nurturing, we begin to step forward and see what comes forward for us that lights the way, tests the way as well as lights the way. Our Venus energy is being activated with that vision on that day. So we really are passionate about what we're seeing, the vision of what is stepping forth. We're using discernment on how we communicate it. This is very important. and how we experience it. What is the true truth? Is it my version, or is it an understanding of a universal truth? Again, it's in the quiet. And we are not in that moon of truth. Stepping forth, though, with that Jupiter energy that we're learning about, it's more to be very present, to understand what is existing in the present for you. There will be things that are being let go of, have been, that will come around again. It is a time of thinking of going through and sorting. And you have a pile of, I don't know what to do with it with. That's the pile you're working on right now. There's a pile I can clearly let go of. There's the pile I'm clearly going to keep. But what about that in between? This ninth, or this 8th, 9th, and 10th is all about that pile. Really sitting with the joy. Does this bring me? What do I cherish about this? Or is it just time to let it go as we get ready for the manifestation of the Pisces new moon next week? So a lot of work and truth step forward over these 3 days. I'm Kitty Foss, your storytelling astrologist. I'll be back on Wednesday, March 11th, or March 10th. Namaste.